guys, it's Jen here and welcome to Jen's World About Watercolour. So today I'm going to draw and paint for you two rhinoceros. So a rhinoceros cow and her calf. So I'll start doing my freehand sketch. I'm working from a photo I got from Pixabay. I've actually found this photo quite a while ago and I've done a couple of different sketches over the time, just pencil ones and charcoal ones of these two, and they're just one of my favourite pictures. So I thought, I'll try and do them in watercolour. So that's what we're doing today. So anyway, so she's got particularly long tusks, which is quite beautiful. So I drew them in, and now I'm drawing her body in. And I'll start to map out where the baby's going to be standing, because the baby's sort of standing in front of her looking at us. So pop little ears on. Little tiny tusk, it's just started to grow on the baby. Little hard mouth. Got such beautiful faces, these things, they're just gorgeous creatures. And drop that eye down a bit lower. And I've got to make the nose just a fraction longer or sort of deeper. I've had the nostril in the wrong position, so just remove all that and pop it in the right spots. And now I'm doing his little legs. And then pop mum's belly in. Then I realised the back's way too short. So make that a fraction longer. And then I draw in her back end. Her tail just there. The other back leg. And pop mum's legs in. Her front legs are in behind the calves. And then I measured her head to the length of her body and realised I'd done her head way too short. So then I go back in again and alter the tusks, move them apart a fraction and make her head just a fraction longer, so then she's much more in proportion. And then I have to move her eyes down because they were then in the wrong spot, and then a nostril. And now I'm much happier with that one, so she's really looking good now. Put a few of her lines in. And again today I'm going to be working on practicing my contrast, being a bit braver with my colours and doing deeper, stronger washes. So yep, I've got to keep trying to do that and keep pushing myself out of my comfort zone and trying to go stronger contrast. So that's the plan for today. Anyway, so I go in, I mix up a bit of burnt umber and a bit of ultramarine in a very thin wash, and I go in just with the initial wash just to give them a cover. I'll leave all the sun that's shining on them both, I'll leave as white paper. And do that, run it over with a wash, and then I realise I've gone over the bub and I didn't want to go over the bub. So I'll finish mum and then I'll go back in and re-wet where I've got the baby with the darker colour in just a sec. And then wet that, and then I'll mop it out with a piece of kitchen towel and bring it back to white. So I'm using my Stillman and Burn it's a watercolour media sketchbook, and they hold up really well to lifting and multiple layers, and they don't buckle, they're awesome books. So yeah, it's a Stillman and Burn Zeta series. So yeah, so I'll pop where I get them in the description down below, which I finally figured out how to do. I'm figuring out how to do things on YouTube as we go along. So yeah, I figured out how to attach things now, which is pretty cool. So yeah, a bit of fun. Anyway, so I go back in to mum's belly and darken that up in her deepest shadowy areas. Again with ultramarine, burnt umber. So I'm just building up a bit of contrast here, just beginning to build up a bit of contrast. So making a bit more of a brownier mix. So it's still ultramarine and burnt umber, but it's a brownier mix, so it's a bit warmer. And then just go around where her little face is in shadow. Still being careful to leave the white for where the sun's on her. Go into the back leg. Then fill in the other leg. So now I'm going in, I've just added a bit, still the burnt umber and ultramarine, but I've gone with a slightly lighter mix for the baby. So it's a little bit brownier, just to make her so she doesn't completely blend into her mum. So I've just changed the tone a fraction. Or the hue, sorry, changed the hue a fraction. And I'm using my size 10. So I'm going to go back in a bit of burnt umber ultramarine, so I'll go back in and just darken up those tusks a fraction. And these silver black velvet brushes, even though this is a size 10, oh my goodness, do they have a great point on them. You know, I just did 2 itty bitty rhinoceros horns with a size 10 brush. I should have really used my size 6, but yeah, nah, I decided I had it in my hand, that'll do. Anyway, it served the purpose, it did the job, so that's awesome. So yeah, so I'm just going back over the darkest darks, just like that. And sort of also it'll help because I'll go around the bub a bit, and that'll give the baby the baby will stand out a little bit more from mum. So yeah, take the dark around mum's head, back up into her ears, still trying to keep the highlights on her back. And now get a bit of another mix, bit sort of a thicker consistency of the grey brown that I've been making with ultramarine and burnt umber. It's a bit bluier mix, and now I'm taking that up into her shadows. Now I'm making a purpley mix, adding a little bit of brown, trying to neutralise it a tad. Trying to make a shadow for the ground here. Yep, there we go. So pop that in, it's the beginnings of the shadow for the ground. And then pop some yellow ochre over the top. And let that sort of blend in, and just trying to make it sort of like a little bit of a grassy effect, but with a dark shadow underneath. Now I'm defining her eye and her nostril more, little bub's eye and nostril. Pop his ear, other ear, little nostril. Do mum's eye, just do the outside edge of the horns that are in complete shade. And then the very front of her ear hair. Do some lines around her eye. Just her chin. Now define those lines going into her shoulder a bit more. Her belly with the darkest dark. then strengthen that a fraction more, and then sort of wash it out into the rest of her belly. Darken up that line where her leg joins, her leg's on her body. So I'm using Payne's Grey for this. So Payne's Grey, just to do the very, very darkest darks on the very underneath of everything, just like that. Now pop a little bit on the bub, because that part of the little bub's in complete shadow. And fill in that leg. And then just put a bit darker around the chin. Take it up into the face for a bit of contrast there, so you've got the reflection on the forehead of the baby. Then clean my palette. Then go back in with my size 10 silver black velvet brush, and I decide I need to have a sky. So we're going to go round Rhino and her bub with cobalt blue. I think it just will make the contrast on Mum's back stand out better, so I thought I'll pop a sky in. So I take that cutting around like that, then under Mum, and then go over another coat just to darken the sky up a bit. So still cobalt blue on my size 10 brush. Awesome. That's looking good. And then I'm going to take it right around underneath where I've got the grass and everywhere, and I'll just take the grass down a bit further. So I'll do blue under there first, so it connects everything up. Then I'll go a bit of yellow ochre, bit of water, and then run that down into the wet where I put the blue at the bottom, and that'll green that up a little bit, just a little bit. But I like the yellow ochre because, you know, the grass in Africa is brown, so it's yellowy brown. So I've made it, yeah, just brought the grass down to the bottom of the picture. And now I'm going to do a darker shadow coming underneath the Mum and Bub, because they're shading quite a lot there. They're creating their own little shadows. So pop that in, and then have a quick look. Yep, it's looking good. Make sure it's dry enough, and I'll go back in with my size 6. And I'm just going to touch just where Mum has a little bit of pink. I'm using Caput Mortem, just in her little warmer bits. And then pop a little bit of gouache on her eye, and a little bit of gouache on Bub's eye. Having a quick look, seeing what else I need to touch up on these two. Yeah, looking pretty good. I try to scratch out a little bit of grass over the purple, but then that doesn't work. So I thought, you know what, I'll just go back in with a bit more yellow ochre and do a bit more grass texture. So back in and do a bit more grass definition. Just a few striggly squigglies here and there. Try and make it look like grass as best I can. Anyway, we're just about done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Click like and subscribe. I'd love to have you follow along with my future videos. So if you'd like to see more, pop on the bell icon and that'll send you a reminder whenever I have a video up. Yeah, so it's been awesome painting with you guys. I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. If you've got any suggestions on animals you'd like to see, that I'm happy to have a go at anything. So any animals you'd like to see drawn and painted, I'm happy to give it a try. So pop that down in the comments down below. And yeah, look forward to seeing you guys next time. I'll let you watch the end of the video. Thanks again. Bye.